What's up, guys? This is the third week of the Bomber Football Podcast. I'm Coach Warner. I'm the defensive coordinator. I also coach the defensive backs. And here we have Antoine Robinson from Naples, Florida, a rising junior, plays defensive back for us, a sports management major. And Wahid Nabi from the Capital Region in New York, a rising senior, plays quarterback from us, and a business administration, corporate finance major. So we'll get into the questions here right away and learn a little bit about Ant and Wahid and their experiences here at Ithaca, and give you guys a better look at what's going on here. So in what way have you grown most while being a student athlete at Ithaca College?
I think the biggest thing is responsibility, especially being a student athlete. It's something that you kind of have to figure out pretty quick. Just being able to handle your own work and handle everything that you have thrown at you. Especially freshman year. I mean, like the study hall and stuff that we have is great, and there's a lot of resources on the campus that we can use. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to do your own work and get your stuff done because our schedules are pretty busy. So,
yeah. Ant, what about you? How have you grown most while being a student athlete here at IC?
Not to piggyback too much, but any college, going into it's just like a responsibility thing. You have to manage your time like very well. You got sports, homework, classes, all that throughout the day. But for me, I'd say my freshman year was just like kind of like a wake up call. I was injured my freshman year, so I had to learn to like do a lot on my own, and I feel like that matured me. Being away from home, this and that. I feel like being away from home definitely like helped me grow as a man. Not even in school, off the field, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Yeah, just growing as a man with the responsibilities of what he talked about in terms of time management, and then you throw the psychological effects of an injury onto your first year, and what that can do, and being away from home obviously has its positive and negative effects. Like you said, growing as a man was something I had also experienced growing up in Southern California and going off to school in Minnesota. And I look back, and some of those times were, so beneficial, just getting away and being on your own and having to fend for yourself. Obviously, there's resources like what he talked about when it comes to academics and obviously athletics. But at the end of the day, it's you and you. And so I love that answer. Moving on, how was the academic transition from your high school to Ithaca College? What helped you during that transition as well? You guys are both in the business school for us, studying different things. So, what was that transition like from the rigorous, maybe lack of rigor in high school, based on the high school that you went to? And, how have we made it with the resources that the school provides and the program provides a little bit easier to accomplish what you've been trying to accomplish in the classroom?
I'll go first. My way. So coming in, I didn't really know what I wanted to study right away. So there's this program called like the exploratory program, and what it is, it's an insight on Ithaca College, like what each school offers. You do little practices in this school, assignments here and that, and that helped me find my way to the sports management program. And like our business school, why you could probably piggyback off this, like a really cool, like the resources we have, the professor. And I wouldn't say a big high school, but we had like average class size of like 5, and most of my classes were around 20 at Ithaca. So like the professor, the one-on-one relationships were there, which helped transition from that high school to college. And just being close with your professors and other classes really helped.
Yeah, going off of that, I think that the professors and just the way that academics are handled, I think it helped a lot. My high school was pretty rigorous, but it wasn't anything like, it wasn't anything crazy. So going to Ithaca was still kind of a wake-up call, and it was still kind of something that you had to work towards. But like I was saying, like the resources and the people around you that want to see you succeed between, like I think the biggest thing freshman year was a 3-hour minimum study hall a week, because you couldn't do anything else but go there and just get your work done. And that really kind of sets the tone for college for you. And even up to like now, you kind of have that same, being a senior, you have that same, 3-4 hour block in a week where you just have to sit down and get work done. So that on top of, how great the professors are and how, willing to help they are and every other resource that they have. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the business school, but it's a lot of give and take with professors on being understanding of what we have going on and understanding, this with college life in general. And on top of that, the facilities and everything around us is amazing. The trading room and all the different classrooms and labs and stuff that you have access to get all your work done.
Yeah. There's not many high schools are on a block schedule. I know a lot have gone that way, but the amount of time you spend in a classroom in your maybe once or twice a week for a specific class in college is different than having the class every day like you probably did in high school. So the schedule changes when you get to college. The amount of time you spend with professors changes. And so they, our professors do make themselves available as what these guys were alluding to is that you're going to maybe spend 2 to 3 hours in a classroom a week with them. But the opportunity to meet with them in office hours, go to labs, different help work and stuff like that is what, we try to provide for our specific program. But at the end of the day, it also comes down to, like they said, is the ability to have relationships with the people that are teaching you and want to see you succeed.
Yeah, and just to go off of that real quick, I mean, you can see, I know from my personal experience, I've had professors that have ended up sitting next to my parents at games and stuff. So they're super involved. They know what's going on. Basically, every Monday when you get into class, professors know what happened over the weekend, the scores and everything like that. A lot of them will end up, at the games, which is really cool to see.
That's great. Moving on and thinking back now, 3 years ago, 3.5 years, and for you, Ant, 2.5 years, what was, everybody's going through a different process of recruiting. Obviously this year for the class of 2021, obviously without the summer camps and the whole timeline and things kind of get flipped on its head with this pandemic, things have changed, but everybody's still looking for specific things and have different guidance as they go through this process with their parents and guardians about what they're looking for. And so, I'm just curious to, obviously Wahid being from the capital region, about 3.5, 4 hours away from us, and Ant being from, South Florida, what that recruiting process looked like and what that deciding factor was that made it, so easy to choose Ithaca.
For me, I was very fortunate. I had a great group of high school coaches that kind of, helped me through it all, and we're always there to talk and, discuss any options and stuff I had. But I like to I kept my list pretty short, and I knew like the values that I was looking for in a school, and not even the academic part, but especially the football part. So, I only went to, I think on 4 visits, and Ithaca was my 3rd one, and I got there and I could already tell like there was a different feeling about the place and just the family effect that everyone had on the team and the camaraderie that you saw between everyone. It was really cool to see. I think I remember I ended up coming on like a Wednesday or something, and I showed up and there's like 45 guys on the team all sitting at one giant table in the dining hall. And I thought that was really cool that everyone kind of gets together to eat and stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Ant, being from South Florida? A little bit different process, probably.
I think the main thing that stuck with me was like the love from the coaches. Like, everybody gets like they sent out to everybody. It was just like, it felt genuine. Like, even when I didn't reply back, the coaches were like, hey man, like, this and stuff. So when it ended up coming up, it was like, it just exactly what Wahid was saying. It's like that family vibe that, it's like I was at home basically there. And it's like, I'll be honest, I only went on that one visit and already, I felt at home. And it's funny, Wahid was my host. So
Yeah.
he told me, everything he knew about Ithaca and stuff. And I had new former players that were on the team, and I had went to high school with a former player, and he loved it just as much, and I could see why looking back on him. But it's definitely a family. You get that family atmosphere, that family vibe, and that's what I think I fell in love with it.
Yeah, that feeling of, obviously coaches through the recruiting process are going to make it apparent if you're wanted, to be in your program. And, at the end of the day, when you come on a visit, and hopefully, obviously with this whole pandemic, we get that stuff situated, sooner rather than later. But that was the same thing for me. And obviously as a young coach, I like to talk from experience and try to help through the recruiting process what my experience was and what I was looking for, and you know, I knew everything about the school academically. I knew everything about the football program in terms of what they were accomplishing and what they were probably going to accomplish based on, you know, past performance, and got that vibe from the coaches. But when you come on your visit, you really get a sense of what the heartbeat of the program is, and what, you know, that brotherhood, that camaraderie, that social cohesion. Because obviously if you're accomplishing tasks, you're winning games, there's obviously some high cohesion in terms of trying to accomplish that. Everybody's, you know, generally on the same page to be successful and trying to get the work done that's necessary. But that social cohesion is exactly what I was looking for when I went on my visits, and some schools had it and some schools didn't. And, you know, you feel really comfortable when you make that decision. So I appreciate your guys' insight there. And then, you know, the last thing, what's been your favorite experience of being a Bomber so far? You know, 3 years, 2 years, you guys have had, you know, a ton of different experiences. Coach Wahid, a part of the first recruiting class with Coach Swanstrom, and Ant, you know, you've had, you know, some different experiences as well as a freshman and sophomore. You know, kind of, in my opinion, flipping those 2 years upside down and complete opposites of being, you know, injured and then playing and whatnot. So, you know, what's been your favorite experience as a Bomber, and, you know, maybe what else are you looking forward to in the future that might even top that experience?
And you take this one first.
Yeah. So going off that, like, two flop-sided years. Like, my first year, you know, I was kind of like not winging it, but it's just like with football, you know, I had got injured early on, so I didn't really get to play my freshman year. It was just like a dark time for me, you know, just having to go to class, watch everybody practice. And then this year, you know, I got to play a lot, got a job. And football, I would say football is like the biggest, you know, moment of me, or especially the Portica game. But just like the relationships I've built with people is probably what's going to stick most with me after I leave Ithaca, you know, brothers, people I've met in class, like that type of thing. Those relationships, I'd probably say, is like what I'd take away most if I were to, like, you know, leave Ithaca today.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best experience I think I've had is, you know, honestly, is just being with the team in different times. You know, we always have like team barbecues and stuff like that. Those are the experiences you kind of never want to give up. And like on the field, I'd probably have to go with, you know, Coach Swanstrom's first win at Ithaca my freshman year, third game of the year up at St. Lawrence. I think that was a pretty special day for everyone, all of us freshmen, and all the guys that had been with the old coaching staff. So those are the kind of experiences that you really want to take away from being here and playing, and going off of what Ann said, like, you know, I've met some of my best friends at the school, and I've played with some guys that have become, you know, brothers for life. And I think that's something that you can really, really cherish, and some experience that you never want to give up.
No doubt. No doubt. I do what I do, and I'd put the cleats back on in a second if I could. Ant was that. You know, I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate you guys' insight to helping some of these recruits during these tough times find out what it's like, you know, and what's truly like about our program. And you guys have had such a influential part of our culture up until this point in many ways. And so, you know, you guys, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your willingness to get on and share, you know, some personal experiences and what your time at IC has been like. So with that being said, once again, appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep thinking Bomber Blue.
Am I allowed to, like, drop an Instagram? They could hit me up, something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ant. Drop some contact information if you will, and his willingness to open up and help you guys out about, you know, talking further about what this, you know, expanded on. Go ahead.
So my Instagram is _Antoine with the R at the end. I don't mind giving out my number, 'cause, you know, that's how much you guys need the info. I'm here for it. 239-776-2454. Antoine Robinson. Again, if you
Last two or 5-3.
239-776-2454.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you guys ever need any have any questions or need any help with stuff, I mean, we have recruits messaging us and talking to us all the time. Like, we're open books to you guys about anything you want to know, anything you want to hear about, anything you want to even like see. Or, you know, a lot of people always get the message of what do the dorms look like, and obviously we'll have pictures of that kind of stuff. So anything you guys need, my Twitter is Wahid, WAHID _Nabi, NABI 14. I think my Instagram is Wahid _14. And if you guys want my number, just message me, and I got no problem giving it out.
Awesome. Once again, guys, appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the future. Keep thinking Bound and Blue. Keep working, right?
Yes, Coach.
All righty. See you guys.
All right.